Donna. Donna. Your retirement
Oh, wait a
card.
minute, got no sound.
Oh, got no sound. Donna's retirement card.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, wait a minute.
She's not hearing the. Yay. Hi, Maureen.
I'm
Hi.
having issues.
I'm an issue too. Oh, goodness.
I know that feeling.
I was talking to Peg a few minutes ago. I got this too. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Good, great ideas in there, by the way. Awesome. No, I was talking to Peg a few minutes ago. She's gonna come on, I think. We were laughing about uh SendOutCards evidently is changing the name of what they call, I don't even know what they call them now. Oh, affiliates, that's right. But I wonder if these corporations realize that,
Yeah.
because like the whole Avon name change thing, I'm just carrying on with my regular, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just
The
me.
the
I
only
see.
good thing about the Avon name change thing was I went to change it on my personal profile because under my name it says Avon Independent Representative. And I was like, well, I'll just change it to the ambassador. Well, that's I can't change it. I can't get into my account because according to Facebook, I have never verified myself when they asked me to verify myself, but they've never asked me to verify myself. So I think I at one point I was hacked.
Okay.
And yeah, because I have that two, I can't say the word, Sean laughs at me off all the time. I have the two-person authentic,
Yeah,
you know,
authentication,
yes.
authentication. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so anytime I sign in from a different computer, I get a notice on my phone. And so something weird's going on with, but anyway, long story short, I cannot change that on my personal profile. So it will be there forever. Avon Independent Representative under my name.
Customers don't care.
Well, that's it exactly.
I hate to say it, but
They don't care.
they're gonna call you the Avon lady. That's the
That's
size
it.
of it.
That
That's the
that's it
size of it.
exactly.
Right. So no, I
Yeah.
just think it's funny because at convention in Boston, they spent 20 minutes building up to um that announcement. And they don't know it because them guys haven't been around, but before, when they spent that much time talking about how we ought to embrace change and stuff, it usually was that they changed the comp plan not in our favor or something. So we're all sitting there expecting some
Oh,
horrible thing to be announced, and then it's something
yeah.
irrelevant
Yep.
to life in general.
Do you remember?
I should say that. I'm suppose I'm sure they all are happy
Yep.
they spent time doing it and all that, but it
Do
really.
you remember we were in San Antonio and the CEO came out and she was talking to us and she was talking about changes and all kinds of stuff and the crowd got really, really quiet.
That's because
And
we all expect that to be bad.
exactly. And
Yeah.
they had no idea. So I think it was the Liza's first time and she had to come out and apologize and because it's like if you
Well,
have
these
not
new
been,
guys, right? These new guys didn't get that memo still, so
yeah,
they build it up and build it up when it's something like cinnamon hit the bold button on the logo. That was the difference between the old.
yeah,
No, they actually said the word. Did you hear that part? That was funny to me, but they updated the logo with contemporary spacing between the letters. Yeah, Donna, I'm like, excuse me. I'm sure it all matters to somebody, but to me, it just is. I'm not sure why other representatives are spending any time on it. That's the
yeah,
thing. I still use a logo from the 70s. It to customers, they need to know what company because they recognize the company name, but the customers aren't sitting around going, You know what really made me buy from them was that contemporary spacing between the 4 letters there. That really sold me right
Yeah.
there. I'm all in now.
Yeah.
Right. Or calling us a representative or ambassador. The customers are like, can you bring me my stuff, please?
Yeah, that's
They
it.
really
That's all
don't
they
care
want.
the rest of that, right? So what did I even say in the post that we were gonna talk about?
Halloween cards.
Oh, there we go. Yay. No, it's actually not Halloween necessarily, although that's the point of it, but it's sending an off season card because businesses tend to send a Christmas card or a holiday card that encompasses Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, we got a perfect one coming up, which is Halloween. So that's awesome. What did you have for thoughts on that, Maureen? Anything? It sounds like you had some thoughts.
Actually, I've already started working on mine.
Awesome.
And I've already got my list going for people I'm gonna send it to. And I went through, I Googled Halloween songs, and I have a list of Halloween songs. And I went back and I started looking at our cards, and there's a song called Spooky Scary Skeletons, and we have a card that has skeletons on the front of it.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's
So
good. That's
I'm
perfect.
going to make a QR code with the song,
Oh,
and I'm gonna make
awesome. What
make
a good
that.
idea.
And then I got to thinking, for like you and for my friends who have doggies, I'm looking to find a doggy fun recipe, Halloween recipe for that you could make a treat for them.
Oh, that's
And
perfect. That's a good idea.
yeah,
You,
instead of
you,
putting the food that we usually put, like the brownies or the alcohol or something,
yeah,
I think that
that
would
is
be
good.
fun.
I just wanted to look real quick. I think let's just say that you're watching this if you're an Avon representative. I wanted to just Google Avon Halloween and see what came up if somebody else has done some graphics or something. I just wondered if that was a thing. I'll see a bunch of products at least, but yeah, sometimes. Oh, look at somebody's display. That's
Oh,
better
Oh,
nice.
wow.
than that. That's beautiful.
That is very nice. Yes.
Sometimes you can find some good I've got a couple of those. Sometimes you can find graphics that somebody else made that, oh, look at 2017. I get a bunch of that stuff. Sometimes you can find some graphics that are still able to be worked this way, but I don't see any today, but
Mm-mm.
that's awesome. Yay. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just looking. You never know. You might see something. That hat, that hat way back then, I've still got that, still use it, still love it. It's up on my shelf behind me right there.
Yep. I have the black
Mhm.
one. I have the black hat.
Oh, where's that one?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's packed away for right now, but I do have the black. That one. I think it's
That
that one.
that
No,
one?
go down one more. Go down one more. Is
That
it
one?
that one?
Oh,
No,
that
that's not
one.
that one. But a
I
couple
didn't
years
know we
ago,
had a black one from Avon for
I
some reason.
I'm
That's
almost
awesome.
positive it's black. I'll have to dig it out. Well, I will dig it out because I've got stuff I want to do. I gotta find my Santa hat, and I gotta find my snowman. I have snow because I really love snowmen. I have snowman headband that I used to wear.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
you know what I also might have still? I might have my light up headband.
Oh, nice.
So when I do
Yeah,
my jewelry and I do
I
my stuff.
I did remember the story of the lady with the dress. I texted her and said, this dress, I thought of you right away. And she did buy the dress and came. She let me post her picture because she
I
sent me a
saw that.
picture of her dress. Okay, so that's where you came into the story. And so she texted me yesterday. Actually, she put a comment on my reel for the pumpkin necklace and said, I too bad I already spent a whole bunch of money with you. I would like the pumpkin necklace. And then was haha, we were laughing about it. And then she texted me and asked me to order it for her. So so that was awesome. Yeah. So she
Yeah.
and somebody asked me yesterday, and I wanted to make sure to say something. They asked me, am I selling a lot of jewelry? Now, I personally don't think it's my reels are about jewelry necessarily. It's back to the rule, you can be successful in anything if enough people know what you do. You can look at the reel and look at the jewelry, but you end up finding out that I sell Avon by looking at that reel. It
Yeah.
says on all over it. So it isn't really about the jewelry. And I've consistently been getting new customers from it, and they're not necessarily buying jewelry. So to me, I only pick jewelry because I like jewelry and I'm probably going to buy it anyway. It's easy to ship when I use it for prizes for my downline because it doesn't weigh that much, unlike a lot of the stuff. So if I'm not keeping it, I'm resending it downline, so it's easy to ship and inexpensive. So that's why I picked that. But I think anybody could pick anything that they're repping for and sell. I don't think that's the point of it. It's being consistent. And I think picking a category is a good idea only because then you get known for that category, and people
Mhm.
or people that look forward to the reel. Where if I was just all over the book, one day I'm cleaning my fridge and the next day I'm wearing a top or something, I think it would be a little less fun. It would be for me. So
Yeah.
so
Uh,
my suggestion is pick it. Hey, Peg Duchesne. My my suggestion is pick a category of products, no matter what company you're with, just because um, it's easier to promote. And
yeah.
Peg wanted to tell us, we already were laughing about it, so but you can tell us the big news, the big breaking news.
Big breaking news
Oh,
is,
Peg's wearing her necklace set from the back of the brochure. That's
well,
awesome.
part of the reason I was late was I'm typing in the password AVON and it kept saying password. I'm like
Wrong call.
SOC today. It's been a week. So you already told them what we're going to be called?
No, I was leaving that special announcement for you.
So it's going to be announced in the next 2 or 3 weeks or something. If you join the Monday night calls, that's where Cody's going to do it. But he already let the cat out of the bag. Our new role is going to be called Gratitude Consultants instead of
Yay.
affiliates. So
And
we're
and
all about spreading gratitude to others. We're the people that consult on how to do that in various ways. All the better, all the better.
and
And
just so you know, I'm not picking on Avon because I was picking on Avon before you got on. Just so you know, the customers don't care about this one either.
yeah, the customers don't care. The customers don't care. So if you have business
customer don't.
cards that used to say,
Keep them and use them.
and now
Yeah.
keep them, your challenge now is give out as many as you can so they're all gone and then you have to order new ones, but don't just not use them anymore. They don't care who you are, what you do, what you call yourself. Just do the work, show up, give them what they need,
Yeah.
provide value, and the
Yeah,
rest
that's what the name of the
is
game is.
history.
I think the logo and name changes and all that stuff are probably more for us. uh to project a certain thing or whatever than they are for customers, because the customers don't care. And
Well,
with
lots
this,
of affiliate marketing programs like Avon, like SendOutCards, they spend all kinds of money on the branding for what the newest, latest, and greatest thing is. If they just, put more money in our pockets. And I think Cody really does try his best to make our compensation package good. The
you know what
gratitude
I like
journals
about
came out
send out
and it's
what
go
I
ahead.
love about send out cards, and I know you'll back me on this one, is that if there is something that really isn't working or it's really a goof up or whatever, you actually can go to one of these prompting things, or you could send him a note or something. You could actually walk up to Cody at one of these prompting things. He's actually the owner of the company, and you could tell him your case. You could say, I know you think this is the latest and greatest, but this particular thing has something I think you haven't thought of. Here it is. And he can actually, if he agrees with you or whatever, he could go back and rethink it or whatever, or he could just say, you know what, I never thought of that. We need to change that. And he goes, gets it changed. That does not happen with big giant companies. So I
And
love that
you
about
can-
send out cards. 'cause
If
they're
you're not
very
gonna see
flexible.
Cody in a room or something, you can definitely call the customer service line and tell them you would like them to submit that suggestion, and they will.
And they
Yeah.
actually do it. Yeah, they
Yeah,
actually do it. Yeah. I think with
I know.
the bigger companies have an advantage as far as they got more money, they got a bigger footprint, they can buy things cheaper, those kind of things. But as far as having any input at all, bigger companies suck at that, and it's not their fault. They're just big giant companies. So Send Out Cards really has the perfect, if you want to be heard. They
Mhm.
have the, yeah, because when you call and tell them at customer service, they actually really give them to Cody himself. There's a whole team of people.
And you
So
can always tell Callie as well.
And I love our customers,
Or
the Send Out
Nick, or-
Cards customer service. They are fantastic.
Yeah,
A few
but-
years ago, I sent after one of my car accidents, I sent brownies and a card to the state trooper, but he didn't get them. They returned them
oh
because it was unknown they wouldn't let it in the building.
yeah.
But I so I checked the tracking and I noticed that it had been returned, but I didn't get credited back for the purchase. So I called customer service and she apologized profusely and said, let me get that taken care of. And within an hour, I saw that, I saw that it was coming. I got the email and everything that it was coming back. And she says, I apologize. I don't know why that didn't happen automatically. She goes, let me go let somebody know that that didn't come back automatically. And I was
Hmm.
like, I just really, I think
Yeah.
our SOC's customer service is fantastic.
They dot
Well,
their I's and cross their T's. They're really
Yeah.
good.
I love
Yeah.
that about a small
Mhm.
company like that. Yeah. I did want to tell you, this is a proud mom moment. So the kid comes home from a doctor's appointment and he what did he had well, he had something done. I won't share it because that's not, it's private, right? But
HIPAA
anyway,
violation.
a HIPAA violation. Yeah, it had something to do with the implant on his arm though. So he's not like shots. He's had meltdowns every time we've had to get the stuff for school and all that stuff. I didn't know he was going to go get anything done, so I didn't know. But he said he decided he was going to be a big boy and go do it himself. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm glad. And then he was telling me the nurse was so patient and he was flipping out a little bit. And the doctor and nurse was so patient. And the reason he was telling me is because he said, I was wondering if you could please send them brownies and a card because they took so much extra time with me and they weren't mean about it. Because you know what happened one year when he of course had to have therapy over this one, but one year he had to have the shots for school. We go to public school, you just have to. They're just I'm not gonna do about that. And it got to the point the kid had such a meltdown and was going on and on. They actually pinned him down and gave him the shots. And of course we had to have therapy over that because right,
Yeah.
they actually held him down and gave him to him. And he'd never forget that. So this time, of course, they're not going to do that. He's voluntarily going in for this thing. But they were nice about it and they were patient about it. And I
When
really,
in doubt, choose kindness.
yeah, I
Mhm.
really appreciate that. So I did send the card. I said, for going above and beyond the Call of Duty. And I said, Alex especially wanted me to mention there was a nurse that held his hand when he was getting the thing in his arm and stuff. So I sent 8 brownies thinking they could divvy them up in the office. And I wrote that in the thing. So I was happy that the kid thought about that right away because he came
Now
home and
you
said
can
that right
say,
away.
sure, Alex, we'll send the brownies. Sit down here, create your free account.
Right.
Be thinking of 5 people to send a card, start them on the 37 a month and have them think of 20 people every month, 5 people a week or whatever.
No, that's a good idea. Because he probably should send one to his boss up there at Tropical Smoothie. So no, I like that he thinks about that though. And I think that's because I talk about it when I'm sending ones for thank
Yeah.
yous. I don't, what was my last
See,
one
you're
that
a
I sent like
gratitude consultant and didn't even know it.
that? Yeah, that's it. What the last one I sent was somebody bought something from me and I sent them. It was the desks, I sent one for the desks, but also somebody bought something else that I sent off of Marketplace. And I
The
found the address.
trees,
Oh,
the trees.
the trees were before the desk. Okay, so the desk happened after I did the call with you. Remember, and we were talking about how I
That's
was going to
right.
get their address. Well, she helped me out because they sent the $100 in an envelope that had the company's name on it. So when he gave me the payment, it had the $100 bill and it had the company name and everything. So I was able to get her name, the buyer, from the interaction on Marketplace, and the company name and address from the envelope she gave me. So yay. So
Yay.
that worked out good. They showed up in a van, it was like a 1 ton, it was probably the same kind of horsepower as my 1 ton box truck, except instead of a box on the back, there was a fenced in, open fenced in thing.
Mm.
And those 5 desks just fit. He had to put them in there 2 and 2 and one sideways for them to fit. But luckily it had a hydraulic gate lift on the back. So once they hustled it outside and got it on there, and the guy says to me, you know, of course he's saying women, okay, he said, most women say something like, make sure you bring help because it's really heavy. And then you get up there and I can throw it around. He said, that's not the case here. I'm like, I told you. I'm like, I said, I wasn't sure if you guys were taking these to use for desks or boat anchors because they're from Gloucester, Mass, which is down on the shore. But yeah, they got them out and it was funny. I'm saying this because be like the one guy, not like the other. So they sent 2 guys. Isn't this true though when they send guys out, delivery guys or something? One guy is Mr. Personality. He probably is a salesman too. The other guy, absolutely no personality whatsoever. He never ended up speaking. It was hilarious, right? The one guy showing me pictures of his dog and stuff, and the other guy, absolutely no eye contact, no speaking. It was hilarious, but yeah, be like the first guy when you go and have an interaction with someone. But that was funny. So I sent them down a picture with the desk on the front. So
Mm.
so I thought that was awesome. I liked Donna, I don't know how I just now, it's not that you just sent this, it's that I just opened it. But I love this, the retirement card. That is so perfect. When did you
That's
have
a
the shot
beautiful
done?
picture, Donna.
Yeah, when did you have
They
the?
they brought in a company to do headshots
Oh,
Oh,
just
that
before I
awesome.
left. So that's my headshot.
Nice.
That's
it's beautiful. It's a
perfect.
beautiful picture.
That was
Yeah,
smart to have
it
them do
turned
it.
out nice.
Because Peg
Yes.
and I had ours done out at that
Denver.
Achieve thing in Denver. Yeah, that's always good. If and everybody, if you get into a spot where they're offering that, do it. Especially if it's inexpensive too, because that's awesome. What a good, you can use that for a long time.
Yes, I can.
Think?
I
Yeah,
love your
I'm
eyeglasses and your
already
blouse.
gray.
matching your shirt, your
Yeah, the
glasses.
Yes,
eyeglasses and your
that worked
shirt.
out
Very
really
nice.
well.
Yeah, you didn't say um matches my shirt, but yeah, you didn't. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. I was only laughing because that's the thing people say to me. Like today, I answered the door for delivery, and the gentleman felt compelled to tell me my necklace matched my hair.
Mhm.
And
No,
I
and your
said,
hair looks so good. It's wispy and whimsical.
I already told Ty, of course, the first couple days, especially with colored hair like this, that you get it done, you can't wash it or anything. So I sprayed it wet and crunched it up. And I told Ty, I said, the trick to pulling off this hairdo is acting like it's supposed to look this way. See that?
And whimsical.
You just walk around with all the confidence in the world, and really it's just messed up. Right. But
It looks
that's
great.
it. Yeah.
Mm.
And Ty said, I'm gonna get blue on everything because yeah, that is gonna happen. So down at his house, like he's got pillowcases that have blue on them from when I, because the first couple days I leave blue everywhere I go.
Leaving your mark.
Leaving my mark.
And did you tell everybody tonight's your last Blue Hair Brigade call?
No,
Ever?
tonight is the last Blue Brigade call. If you don't like to see
Ever.
crying, don't show up for this one because I'm probably gonna be crying. He's gonna be crying. He cries anyway. I'm not that much of a crier, but I'm probably gonna be crying because this has been such a big. And you know what's funny? I was just looking at one of my friends, Erica Woolbright. She's one of my really good friends. She's in my downline, and that's how I met her to start with. But we've gone on lots of trips together in Avon. Erica Woolbright. She's from Vegas, and uh oh God, where was I going with that?
The last Blue Hair Brigade call. The
Um,
last Hair
oh my
Brigade call.
God, what was I? Yeah, I had a really good point for this, and obviously I've lost what the whole point was of the
About crying. Nobody's
she-
gonna be
oh,
crying.
for crying. Yeah, she rolled up from my like fifth to my third. She was the biggest roll up I've ever had ever, and I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have guessed that this. Okay, that's it. She submitted me for an award, and it was probably 10 years ago, maybe not quite 10 years ago. And it was right around the time View from the Top. So we'd already done View from the Top, 3-book set. We were at the end of that. But at that time, the people that wrote recommendations for that award, I didn't see those recommendations for years. She just gave them to me a couple years ago. But in those letters, people wrote stuff like, she doesn't realize how great this book set is for so many people. This is going to be what she's known for, right? This is going to be her signature project or whatever. And I thought that for years too, until now. Yeah, I think it's important that it wasn't my signature thing now. I think I need to have some other thing, and I think I'm going to need to have more things after this because that's how you stay going forward in business and building it up and doing different stuff is. And to have all this happen, the book thing happen over a comment on a Zoom, that still is crazy.
That
But
would make a great name for a book.
Yeah.
well, and you know what? You've been on a bunch of those Go-Giver calls. People all the time said that would make a great name for a book. But it was the fact that we did it, I
Right.
think, right? The moon and stars aligned. I'm not saying it was easier that we had some big motivation to hop on every idea that's said, but the fact that we did take it and did do it.
To the end result and then beyond. Yeah.
Right. I think too bad more people don't do that because I think, I mean, it's changed me forever.
I think that's the biggest outcome anyone has had during
the Go-Giver
years
thing.
the Go-Giver Success Alliance existed. I would venture to say that your collaborative project with Jeff was the biggest by far.
Felt it to me, but I don't know.
You know, I mean,
I
look
don't
at
know.
one thing that happened is that Bob and Jeff collaborated.
Jeff,
on
right.
the book. That might
Right.
not have ever happened, right?
Yeah, I don't, well, from what Jeff is saying, he'd been thinking about doing the model that he and I did. And I said this, I don't think it was to you. I think I might have said it to Ty yesterday, but Jeff's model is that the co-author pays to be in the book with him. And I didn't pay to be in that first book. He was just trying it out. So the fact of the matter is I was extremely lucky because I know what he charges to do that job. And I don't have that kind of
And I
money.
said yes, yes.
Right. So I actually benefited immensely from being the first one that he did that with. And now this is the part that I'm liking the best. This is 2 years in. I finally said to him, listen, instead of sending me commission, send me books. Let me hustle the books myself because I don't like not having books that I'm hustling myself because I'm used to hustling my own books. So he sent me a whole case of books, and I just found out because I just broke into him, started selling them. He signed the whole case. So
Oh,
I've got
wow.
a right, I got a case of ones that we both are gonna have signed, and I'm already selling them. You probably saw the graphic on there.
Yeah.
What's funny is now there are a whole bunch of people who don't know about View from the Top. So it's the
I
other
need
way
to get one of
around.
those.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
the cost of the book with both your signatures?
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
What'd you say? What was the box of books? That was the blue
Is
hair
the
book.
cost of a book? I mean, I
Oh,
have one with both your signatures in it, but I'm thinking there's a person I know that does wine, and you'd always wanted to meet some
oh yeah, yeah.
wine.
No, the what I'm selling the blue hair books for is $22.95, same as Amazon, and the
29.95,
22.95.
My turn.
22.95,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
the autographs are a bonus.
Right. And that's you can buy it for $22.95 on Amazon, but I'm giving the autographed bookmark, wristband, and a free gift. And
Um,
my free gift right now is the Jim Rohn booklet of quotes. So it's a cute little gift. But those are $22.95, and View from the Top. I've got all three volumes, and I've got cases of them. But those are $24.95 each. So we
Each for the
decided
set.
to, what'd you say?
So, for the set or each?
Each.
each,
So
okay.
that's like
20,
$75
$24.95.
investment. Okay.
Yes. And yeah, and you know what I did to make it so I was afraid to do this before this because without Liza, I'm over here the Lone Ranger again. And believe me, I spent many years as a Lone Ranger. I understand the assignment, but I need to make decisions that are going to support my Lone Rangerness. Right. So I'm only offering priority mail flat rate shipping because the containers come free from the post office. I just have to grab one, shove the stuff in it, write the name on it, and away it goes. Liza was packing them and all that for me, and I have to shift from I've got somebody to do that to how can I get that done the easiest
Right, and
way.
the postal, you not only get the free packaging, you can get a tracking number, which could lead to another touch point. I just put it in the mail. Here's your tracking number. You should have it in 3 days or 2 days or whatever. And then another touch point. Did you get it? I'm so excited for you to have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
the
that
more
makes way
touch
more
points, the
sense.
better it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. That makes way more sense. What were you gonna say, Maureen?
Lisa, I want to get one of the blue-haired books, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to pay for it. So, but I
Yeah.
do want to get one. I've got 4 already, but none of them have signatures. So
No.
I do want one. Yeah, I bought 4 of them when they first came out because I was like, one for me, and then if I ever build a team, I could give the other 3 away. So I have 4 of them, and I
Well,
have
if
it
the
on Kindle. And I have it on Kindle.
and if the opportunity comes up and you get a chance like this, take it.
Yeah.
Because when Jeff called me, he actually didn't tell me what he wanted. He called and wanted to do a Zoom meeting with me. And I'd been sitting up here and he'd been talking about it on the Go Giver things. He'd been saying he wanted to do co-authoring and all that stuff. And I sat up here thinking, I wonder, I wonder how much money it's going to cost because I know that they do that. That's a business model where you can co-author for money. And I'm thinking, I wonder what it would take. And then I sat here and I decided ahead of time before I even talked to him. I said, if he ever was to come to me, I don't care what the project is. I'm saying yes. I'll just figure it out once if I didn't know it was going to be a book. I thought whatever we're doing, I'm just going to say yes and
That's a
build my
wit
parachute on the way
strategy.
down after I jump out the plane.
That's a
Right.
wit strategy.
Oh, say that again. What is it about?
It's a wit strategy, WIT. This is a writer downer. You're taking notes, right, Maureen?
I am.
So wit is whatever it takes.
I love that. So anyway, when he called me, he was just saying, remember how that call back then when I said that would make a good title for a book. He said, I can't get that out of my head. I think it would be a good thing. And then he told me a little about the story he already had notes about. And I'm like, he didn't know, but I was already in before I talked to him. So I'm like, yeah, what I hadn't planned on, it was a couple months after that. He booked all of these Zoom calls where he just basically sat there and asked me a whole bunch of questions. And that's why he knows more about me than anybody on the planet, because he sat there and listened to all my stories. He told me some too. So, I mean, that's how we end up being friends. But then when he started sending me chapters, I think that was the wild thing, because I didn't realize the book was going to be so much about me, because he told me it was a parable and that was going to be fiction, right? And they were based on all of us. He made sure he said that it wasn't anybody in particular. So when I started reading it though, and I'm like, oh, that's me. Oh, how did he know that? And then I'm like, oh, I told him that. I guess I was shocked he listened to me. Right. So yeah, I haven't necessarily been around a lot of men that listen. Right. So, but if you get in any situation like that, and tying in send out cards with this, I bet you he can't tell you how many I've sent, because over the last 3 years that I've known Jeff West, I've probably sent him 50. I've sent him a lot of cards, and I'm friends with his ex-wife. I sent his ex-wife cards. I sent his daughter's cards.
And his current wife.
And his current, well, I haven't sent his current wife a card, but yeah, in his circle, it's important that, to me, when he thinks about this book project, I want him to have only positive thoughts. So the only way that's going to be is if I'm thankful, I think, and grateful, and this feeds right into what they're trying to do, I think. So generally, when we do a show together, I send him a thank you card. I take a screenshot from the recording and put it on the front of the card, and then I'll say something inside the card. I was sending him caramels or brownies all the time, and he's like, "You making me fat. You got to not send them." And I'm like, "Hey, pal, I wasn't sending them for
It's a
you."
rule.
You didn't realize when I get stuff here, when I had staff members, I would always split it. So I would take a couple caramels, and then it went around the room until they were gone. And I assumed he must have other people that he works with that he could share with, but evidently that didn't dawn on him because he's a man. No, no, that's not nice. But after I said that, he's like, "Oh, that's right." So, yeah, make your secretary fat. That's what we're doing here. No, isn't it happy secretary, happy life? Oh no, that's wife, right? Okay, but close enough. But to me, that's as important as making sure a customer has a good experience, making sure people I'm dealing with have a good experience. Because if something comes up, he's gonna want me to be in on it. You know what I mean? He's gonna include me in it. And that's great with me, because he's running in circles I'm not running in. That's why I was so lucky to be able to do the book with him, because he's
So many things you did to make that book successful and have
Yeah.
attraction for it is like the coloring pages, the I love the soundtrack. I just this past Sunday needed to do some
Spotify.
rearranging in my room and in my office, and I'm like, Blue Hair Lady soundtrack, here we go, Spotify, give it to me.
Well, and what I like about that whole process, I think, is that I didn't know what I was doing. I was just thinking, what would make this fun, I guess, or what would make it interactive, or what would add value to somebody that showed up. That's all I was thinking. I didn't know, and I probably should have Google searched what a book launch
You thought
you
of
know
so
what I
many
mean?
things that wouldn't have been on that list.
Well,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that.
And you were sending them recipes.
Yeah, I actually thought probably most people did those kind of things. Yeah, and you know, a lot of that stuff is the thinking that we have in send out cards though, because we're not thinking about, it wasn't always about promoting the book, it was about bringing value to someone that's showing up. So if they're joining the Facebook group, I'm thinking to myself, how are they going to get some value out of that for them, whether they buy the book or not? How is it going to be a valuable experience and a good one? So that's all I was thinking of. And I think I got that mentality from send out cards all these years. I mean, we've been doing this. I don't know how long, you're probably longer than me, right? I'm 15 years, I think.
I came in 2007.
Yeah, I think you're in before me even. So, but it's just been, it's always worked to my advantage. Always when I even, oh, you know what? In New York, when I went to that meeting and Liza, the one that's running the North America thing, I sat at her table. When I came home, I made sure to send her a thank you card, and I had taken a selfie with her, and I put her and I on the front of the card. And you know, when I talked to her, I was actually getting in trouble and was talking to her, and in the background was the card on the wall, though. So you know, that doesn't hurt. Then when I said, tell me what I need to do to be in compliance, I'll do exactly what you said. It doesn't come off as bad because I was thankful for something else. And
Yeah.
so that's the way it is. But that's always served me well, I think, is sending a card of gratitude, being thankful. That's worked for the play too. We're getting down to a month from now is the first performance. I send cards when people come here to rehearse. I thank them. I shake their hand and thank them when they're leaving, and they're like, "Why are you thanking me?" And I'm like, "You didn't get paid to come here tonight. This project is working because you showed up, and I'm thankful." And sometimes they make fun of me, but I think it still is a positive experience. You know what I mean? That they're coming
Yeah.
here. Go
You
ahead,
know,
Mark.
my grandson started school a couple weeks ago, and my daughter posted pictures of their first day. So of course I had to send everybody, including myself, a card with the boys on it. And she got hers yesterday, and she's messaged me. She's like, "Thank you, mommy, I love it." And she showed me then right behind it was another card that I had sent her. Because a lot of the cards that I had sent her when she lived in her old apartment, she lost them because she didn't realize when she rented the apartment it was full of mold.
Oh,
So a lot of the stuff that I had sent her, she had lost. So I'm trying to resend. But
nice.
found a really pretty sunflower. My daughter loves sunflowers. Actually, I think I sent it to you guys too. It's that real pretty sunflower.
Yes, the colored one.
So I
Yes.
sent her that, and the picture of the boys she had it up right next to that sunflower. Yeah, that sunflower. And I was like, I said to her, "That's okay, honey." I said, "I'm glad you liked it. I love sending cards. That's my thing." And she says, "I know, and I love whenever I get a card from you, mommy."
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
my daughter's 32 years old and she still calls me mommy.
You know, I've even had Ty say something now, and it's probably because I talk about, you know, because we sent that card to Mortadella Head. And he said, "Oh, what a great idea." And he wanted to see it and everything. And then later, something came up that he was getting, somebody came and saw him and he's like, "I wonder if we could send them a card." So, I mean, that's how this happens is that your kid or your spouse or whoever sees you doing it and your customers and your team members, like if you're send out cards, but your primary direct sales company is something else, like in our case, a lot of our cases, it's Avon. The other Avon reps see you doing it. That's how they're going to want to do it too. And I think nothing bad comes from gratitude. Not that I've seen. You know what I mean? Appreciating your customers, appreciating your vendors, appreciating even corporate people you deal with, even when they're crazy.
And
Did I
and
say that?
the thing is too is like with my job that I had, my weekly job, I got injured on the job. I never took any time off other than when I took that time off to go to the convention and then I went back east. But I still went to work every single day. I didn't necessarily work as hard as I had previously because I was having trouble. I went and had surgery in November. I got hurt in March. I had surgery in November. They finally released me to go back, and I went back. No, I'm sorry. I got hurt in June, had surgery in November, went back to work the following March, was back to work for a week and a half, went back to the doctor and said, I can't do this. I just can't do this. So instead of transferring me to another department, I applied for different departments where I wouldn't have to be out in the field. No, they let me go. They fired me. But you know what? I sent a thank you card to the workers' comp guy for the company, and I sent a card to the guy through the insurance worker comp. So I for both. And the one guy called me and he's like, "Why did you send me this card? I appreciate it." I said, "Because you're not the one that fired me. You're the one that was helping me try to, you know, navigate through this whole sea of stuff." And he goes, "Well, I truly appreciate it." I said, "Well, you're very welcome." I said, "I'm just sorry that the company didn't see my value and decided to let me go." And and it was just, I liked how I was able to turn that around.
No, and that's smart.
Even
And
though I was angry, I was very angry for a few months because I worked my tush off for that company. And anyway, that's a
that's
whole nother
smart of
story.
you though, because you don't ever know. I was just telling the kid that I said, you don't want to leave a place badly, don't have a meltdown, tell the boss off, or don't give notice or any of that stuff. I said, you want everything to be a good when you leave. Or
Yeah.
and I said, when you're
That's the don't burn the bridges rule.
don't burn the bridges. Yeah, absolutely. And I said to him, you don't want to be whining about other people when you're on that job. You don't want to be that person. I said, in every work environment, there's one dick. And I says, if you can't tell me who the dick is, it might be you. So you better not be the dick. You don't want to be the one complaining all the time about the other people and stuff. I said, you show up, you be grateful, you do your job, and you don't just always be complaining they're not paying you enough or that the other guy isn't doing his job right and all that. I said, you be as grateful as you can be, and you're going to be shocked how fast you'll move up. But you
Yeah.
can't be the one that's difficult, crabby, complaining about the other people. And I also said, you may not ever go back to that Duncan again, but you know what? You're likely going to run into some of the people you worked for or with down there. So you don't want to be going around making enemies at all these places, because if you don't think that they go around and work different jobs, they do. So you're likely going to run into someone, because that's happened to me. I mean, matter of fact, one of the big corporate people at Avon went over to work at HempWorks. One of the big corporate people at Avon is over working at Market America. They all go around and work at different companies. So you're likely going to have to run into them again. And you don't want, when people see you coming, to be going, oh, here she comes. You know what I mean? You want them to be going, oh, good, she's in this. Oh, good, here she comes. You don't want people to have a bad and to me, the cards help with that. You know what I mean? I want people to have a positive experience. And even if I'm not that happy with what happened, like in your case where they let you go, being grateful and sending the cards to the people that didn't fire you, that was brilliant, because you might end up having to deal with those people again.
Matter of fact, he said to me, if you ever want to come back, if you get healthy enough and you want to come back, just call me and I'll get you back. Well, I'm not healthy enough. I can't go back. I can't. So, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I was very angry for a little while because I was like, I'm the one that got injured. I got injured. Why is this my fault that they're letting me go? And then I just kind of turned it around and said, you know what? Well, when one door closes, a window opens, something's gotta, and I sent them the cards because, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have navigated the whole situation. I wouldn't have known what to do,
No, that's
and it was just,
awesome. You
yeah.
reframed
And
it, and that's
I
perfect.
sent a card to the surgeon. I sent a card, but the surgeon made me mad. I'm going to tell you what the surgeon did to me. So every week I would go, or every 2 weeks I'd have to go see the surgeon after my surgery. and he'd have to give me a progress report. Now, you guys know, you've seen me enough, you know that I'm a big girl. I'm a big, big girl. He put right on my progress report, she needs weight loss surgery.
Isn't that your
And I'm
choice?
and I'm thinking to myself, you're sending that to my employer, telling my employer that that I need weight loss surgery. I said, what is my employer gonna think? They're gonna think that I caused the accident. It was my fault that I had the accident. So I was like mad at the surgeon. And but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fight fire with fire and I'm gonna be kind. And I sent him a card and
Did he
thanked
write
him.
that maybe so that they'd pay for it or something, or that it would be included
I
in?
don't know. I don't know, but I thanked him for telling me that. I said in the card, I said, I just wanted to thank you for bringing that to my attention, because now I know that other people can see that I am. Because for a long, when I don't know about you guys, but I'm tall. I'm 5'7", so I don't look as big as I really am. So I never realized how heavy I was in other people's eyes. So I thanked him for bringing that to my attention.
Well, that was good. Reframing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I said, thank you for bringing that to my attention. So now I know how other people see me, so I can start working on that.
That's
And I
awesome.
went to see him. I had one last appointment with him, and he never mentioned my weight, and he never mentioned the card.
And that happens. Well, and that we ought to say something about that for a second, because I know we've talked about it a bunch, but when you're doing send out cards, because I get people all the time that say, I ran into your channel on YouTube and listen to what you said. So we want to say some stuff that we say a lot because it's important stuff. But one of them is, don't expect feedback. When you send in the card, what did Cody used to say? Send for the sake of sending, or
Yeah.
and not expect feedback, because it's very rare, I think, that you get feedback. That doesn't mean that people don't appreciate it. It just means they're busy or whatever. But
Mhm.
usually that moment when they opened it, it was like something good for their day.
Yeah.
And to me, I think in theory, it's easy to say I don't care about the feedback, but it's easy to get sucked in. So some days I sit here going, oh, I spent a lot of time on that card. I wish I knew. I wish I saw him open it. Right. I can think of one. It was a Go Giver one too. Um, the husband and wife were in the Go Giver with us, and the husband had won I think it was a golf tournament or something, and I had gone and got the logo for the tournament and got the pictures off the site, and I'd done a bunch of extra for that particular card, and I even sent caramels or something, and they never mentioned it, and it's easy to get sucked into wanting the feedback. But
Mhm.
lately, and that had to have been 2 years ago. Lately, I got a card from him, and it was about something else, but I think that I wouldn't have got the card if I hadn't sent him one before.
Right. Mhm.
So I'm just going to assume he liked it. I think I just assume they liked it and just go, you know what? I bet you he did, and move on with my day. Because it's hard to get out of that mindset where you want to have the feedback. And I get it. I get it, but it's harder.
Mhm. Well, and do it for the sake of giving and knowing that, there I go, making somebody else
I have to call you back, Catherine. I'm on a
more
Zoom.
fuzzy, right?
Thank you. Okay,
You'll
that's the accountant.
you feel good about sending them, and they're going to get a warm and fuzzy feeling opening it, whether they ever tell you that or not. They got something from
And I also know too, sometimes, I don't always get the feedback. And at the beginning, I was like chomping at the bit. I need the feedback. But I do know some of the feedback that I would get would be people saying the card came just when I needed it. That
it.
card, your card came, and it's like, I don't know how to describe that feeling, because you don't know the reason you're sending. I mean, the reason you're sending the card is because you're thinking of them in that moment, but you don't know what that person is going through. And I mean, some of the cards I send are funny cards. I mean, they're like a baby sloth, you know, but somebody could be having a bad day and they open the baby, seeing a card of a baby sloth, and it makes them smile, and there you go, we turn their day around, you know?
Yeah, you don't ever know. And
You
I
just
think you just
don't.
have to assume the best and leave it at that and just keep sending. And I think it's like karma. Karma can be good and bad, right?
Yeah.
You send bad karma out there, expect bad karma back. But we in SendOutCards send out good karma every day.
Yeah.
And I think that comes back, and it comes back in a lot of ways. It comes back in contacts, it comes back in business, it comes back in gratitude. I get so many referrals, especially on the thank you card thing. Sending my Avon customers a thank you card every order. I'm surprised how many people mention that to me. Guys too.
Oh,
The guys too. I'm surprised by that.
yeah.
I would have think that would be a standard practice, and most people that wanted a big business would do that, but evidently not. Because it's so easy to do. But
Easy
my
to
new
do,
thing,
easy not to do. Yeah.
well, it's easy, but that's true. My new thing is I look up what the order was and try to include a picture of what it was on the front. Or if it's Avon and they used a coupon, I'm putting pictures of what they got free on the front. So, and then saying something about it on the inside. And you saw what I was doing about uh the pictures from convention on the inside of the customer list one, doing
That's what I
that.
did. I borrowed that idea from you that you did last year. So I did mine.
Nice.
Cool.
And
Nice,
then I
nice.
took your idea the other day about the QR code. So I took this picture out
Oh, and put
and
the
put my
QR code.
QR code
Perfect.
there. And then I noticed that I had put the bracelets in twice. So the
Oh,
sneaker picture, I just moved up to where the bracelets were.
nice.
So that's, and
Nice.
I do this all the time. I learned this from Lisa. I always send myself a copy before I send it out to make sure there's no mistakes. And I picked up on that. That was a mistake, the bracelets.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like
yeah.
some I don't always send myself one, but I try to because it makes sense. And I like it when I have when I get one in the mail so I can see what it looks like, and then I can fix it. And
Yeah.
you know what? The other day we had a presentation, the play one. Somebody came to make us a presentation on how to apply for a grant, and Kenny said, do you have an extra one of those fancy cards that you send? And I did, because I had a couple returned to me. So I ran and got them one, and they're like, "Oh my God, how much did you guys spend on this?" And I'm like, surprisingly, nothing. No, it wasn't nothing, but I've been sending them for a day
Yeah.
out of my 10, so it actually wasn't more than my subscription. So
The other day I have this new TV show that I watch. I told you guys about it. It's out of the Caribbean. It's called Beyond Paradise or Death in Paradise. And there's an actor on there. His birthday was the other day. And I believe he's from Britain. Anyway, I sent him a birthday card. And of course, I don't expect to hear anything back from him. But the funny thing is I posted it on my page about his birthday, wished him a happy birthday. And one of my good friends I found out likes the show. She
oh,
watches the
nice.
show. Like I had no idea. I thought I was like the only one who liked British TV and
Oh, that's
TV
awesome.
like that. And now I'm watching one. Do you guys remember Xena, the warrior princess, that Lucy
Yeah.
Lawless lady? I'm watching a show. It's on a channel called Acorn TV. It's set in Australia, New Zealand. She plays in it. She plays an ex-police.
Oh, that's
And I'm like, this
awesome.
is just so funny because you think you're the only one doing something or doing, you know. But I just thought that was so funny that my good friend that I used to work with likes
Likes it
likes
too.
those kind of shows that I like.
Awesome. So the assignment is yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna post the replay up on YouTube like always. The assignment is try to find something to be grateful for today and send a card for it. If you need the link to send a free card, hit me up. I can send you that. But it's easy and it's fun. And if you happen to get feedback, bonus. But if you don't, that's all right too. Just think to yourself, you put it, ooh, did you hear that noise? You're putting the good vibes out into the world. Did you hear it? No, did you hear it just then? It made that noise? No, okay. I changed my ringtone because of Kim Gilmore. My roommate, so she said, you keep diving for the phone every time the thing rings and it's not him. And she said, you changed the ring for him to be a certain one, so you don't have, that's what I did. So now every time it's him, I'm like a sixth grader. Oh, it's him.
You know, my ringtone
I'm going
for
to my
my
tool
husband,
spot. Good to be with you guys.
Okay, thank you, Peg.
right,
Thank
my
you.
ringtone for Sean is really funny, and he's the one who picked it out. It's something to the effect of, "This is Harry Rowland. Your husband is calling, the man you've been trying to avoid since the day you married him." And whenever that would go off when I was working, the customers around me, they would laugh and laugh. They'd be like, "That's a good one."
Oh, that's pretty good, huh?
Yeah. So Donna and Rhonda, your cards should be there today or tomorrow. You guys are getting 2 each because I actually found other stuff and sent them on different cards. So you're going to be getting, there's 2 coming with all the fun, good information.
Okay, thanks.
I was just looking at my computer's getting hot and I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
Because you're talking about Ty.
That's it. He's hot. Okay. Okay. I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for spending the hour. I really appreciate it. I always have fun with you guys. Thank you.
All
And
right.
we will pop in tonight for the last show, especially if you like crying.
All right.
See y'all
Bye,
later.
you guys.
Thank you.